Area we're going to discuss and some of the areas that we address the overall operational efficiencies. So this will talk about allocations for customers for items based off of different rules that you're able to set up, allocations at bins for items and for customers. The other aspect of it is labor assignments. So if there's a particular worker inside the warehouse that picks products better, is more accurate, or if you want to assign a specific warehouse worker to a cage or a specific location of valuables, you can do that in our advanced allocation system. Other areas are really just a single integrated pick, pack, shipping, and invoicing process. So with the WMS, utilizing SAP's database, you're able to pick on the handheld devices using a variety of Android devices, pack it, ship it, invoice it, all in a single process without really anyone going inside of Business One. And some of the other areas to improve efficiencies within the warehouse for distributors are directed put away, cross stock, and the order reservations that I mentioned will have the allocations of those items for customers in specific locations. You have your release rules, you have your bin allocation rules. And again, some of this is standard SAP or similar to SAP functionality that's in the Pick Pack Manager. But again, you have some advanced rules. So if you want to put in some rules that you want to pick, if it's over 24 eaches, pick it as a case. So how do you want to handle some of those rules for units of measure? Or if you want to make sure you're picking the oldest items first. You could split it, again, similar to Business One, but we added some additional functionality. And then how do we want to allocate the inventory from what bins? If you've already set it up inside of SAP's rules at the warehouse level, we'll look at those rules. We have a handful of other rules, FIFO, LIFO, custom, so forth. So again, we use SAP queries over and over again in our software, which gives you a lot more bang for the buck, but we want to use some allocation rules for, in this case, it's Walmart bins or home good bins. Finally, as I mentioned earlier, you could assign it to a specific worker. So, Tammy always picks home good orders because she knows their products and she, makes sure that they're filled correctly. So with doing that, it's going to run on a scheduler. Once orders meet those transactional rules, it will automatically create the pick list. And again, it could be a production order, it could be lots of other things. We have a log file, so time and date stamping across the board. All right. Lastly, when we talk about efficiencies and everything coming together and driving out of Business One, and I've missed a lot of functionality, is to talk about mostly it's warehouse management, but it's not limited to warehouse management. And what you're seeing here, and if you're up to date on where SAP is going, this is SAP Fiori. This is the same technology that SAP has developed in version 10 or using for development in version 10. And we've developed this, again, about 5 years ago. We embraced the technology. So SAP's pick tickets, after you go through those things, the allocations of the Pick Pack Manager, you could do your picks here, or you could do wave picking. So we have the picks, we have the packs, we have what we call touch picks. So if there's images, instead of doing the scanning, if you want to verify via images from the item master, you can. We also have the vehicle routing. As I was mentioning earlier, sometimes, again, a lot of distributors have their own trucks, and if they want to get visibility to what's going on, we've done a few things with our truck routing system. One is our routing manager will tie into different mapping software. So if we're building a route today and we want to have all of the orders that are going on the Queens truck, let's say a Brooklyn or Queens truck, I could look at all of the orders that are on the Brooklyn route, and I got to tell the system what truck we're gonna put it on, and pass inspection, of course. Let me try one more. Okay, so we get the driver. Okay. So in here, bills assigned to somebody else. I'll come here. You can come in here and you can say, I want to have, this is my first stop and so forth. And these are going to be the different stops. And if I'm the old guy that's been working at the company for a long time, I know what I'm doing and I can do my different stops here. And I can say, first you go here, then you go here, and you go here. And you'll see Salisbury Hill, I have there, and I'll throw something else in for the Manhattan route because my truck isn't filled. I'll throw some other orders there. Now, what you can do, and I may get an error, I didn't have enough time to test this. What we do here is we use web services and we will go out to either Google Maps or Waze, about 6 or 7 different mapping softwares that we have. And the system, based off of real-time time and date stamp, it says where you're coming from, what time is it right now, so it's mid-afternoon, shouldn't be too bad. It will optimize it. And again, it may not find the mapping software if I don't have it hooked up on this demo server. Okay, it worked. So it said, okay, based off of today's routes, and you notice before I had Salisbury Hill split up, just go here first, go to SAP Hudson, then go to Brooklyn and work your way back. And it puts everything into the various stops. So this is my planned route for the day, and that's using web services automatically. As the routes are going out there, I'm going to pick up a different one. As the routes are out there, and you want to take a look at and answer some questions for people, hey, where's my order? What's going on? Let me pick the other one from August. This one. Say this one here. Okay, so this one has 205 stops. So as the driver's making their deliveries, it's automatically updating business one real time through the web services. So these have been delivered. He or she is on his way to Barzell Electronics, then they go to SAP Hudson. If I open up the document, okay, this will have the line items that are going there. It will have what time they arrived, they delivered, who it was received by, and we have a signature capture. And once it's all done, it updates back into business one and automatically invoices the customer if you have that feature set up. So this is a great customer service tool that ties the whole integration together, and you complete the route and off you go. Okay. Other areas just to talk about in the warehouse. Again, people will use devices that are similar to the size of a phone. You can use a tablet for packing, things like that. But it's really coming from the SAP transaction. So here's a purchase order I did before, purchase order 14522. And in here, I'm just going to duplicate it. It's to Thomas Shelby Wines. And again, that was the first one. The next one I'm going to be selling to or buying from the wine importer. Okay, so there's my purchase order. I'll change some quantities here. And that's PO 14523. So by adding it, if I just come into the warehouse, I can do my receiving. My receiving, I could do a container if that went into a container, which I'll show you, or it goes right into the purchase order. I could scan it or I could look it up. The real nice thing about what we've done in the WMS is the searching capabilities. You don't need, some of the old ones that run on like Windows Mobile, which is not even available anymore. It's hard to find products and do searches. You have to scan it or there's a little bit of a search button. You'll see in here I have it sorted by oldest to newest, but I have some different sorting options. It makes it a lot easier for me. As the screens change based off the size of the device I have, the windows will also change. So I can receive in this product. I don't have a scanner with me, but these will come from the default bin locations for the item. So it's going to want me to put it in the receiving area so it could do some staging. We could do something called license plates. I could hide finish so I'm not looking at the same items over and over. And I'm just, receiving, scanning away, and so forth. So this is set up in some of the rules that we have, not to put it into a bin location, not to use the directed put away rules, but to put it into the receiving dock. And it's a two-step process where One person receives it, and then another person puts it away. But when I hit finish, do I want to print any labels? I'll say no. This little message here, this is writing data to the tables in the service layer through the service layer, and everything is posted. And the PO that I just entered has been closed. Now, this is our demo server in Ireland on our demo site. So this has been closed. And looking at the relationship map, you'll see in here the goods receipt, which time and date stamps the transaction down here. If I had any serial or batches, they'll be in here. The other thing I didn't mention, if you could put notes, so it makes it a lot easier for your warehouse workers that come back into the warehouse, or if they have a device that has a camera on it. So if there is some damaged goods, they could take a picture of the item, and this way that's associated with the purchase order and it will help get your credit. I'm going to finish up. There's a lot of other areas related to the WMS that are again, very useful. I'll finish up where I showed earlier. I entered in an item. I entered in a UPC number 9991234. I can scan that, and by scanning that item into what we call the quick search, what it does, it shows me where that item is. So that's kind of an example of the integration and how it's all embedded into B1. But I have a box of sea salt in my hand. Where is this in the warehouse? Scan it, and it will tell me all of the bin locations for this item. Okay. I can see the units of measure, the different warehouse quantities. If there's any attachments, I can add an attachment here or see any that have been done. And then I can look at all of the sales orders for the item, purchase orders, pick tickets, productions directly here. And again, I'm getting this data from Business One by just clicking this and getting the data through the service layer.